Hello, fellows. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm on a lot of sugar, so we're going to go ahead and talk fast, and we're going to get into it really quick here. First, let's take a look at the end of free agency and see who signed where. Never mind. We're not going to do that. I'm lazy. We're going to go straight into player progressions. So, actually, I'll make a couple more announcements first. Okay. So, first, the big announcements are number one, the contract or the salary cap increases. Okay, I increased them both by $6 million this season, and I already announced it in the Discord because I feel like every team wants a little bit more wiggle room, so we're going to 156 for the salary and 270 for the hard cap. We'll see how that works out this year. Don't expect it to be a regular thing though. It'll probably still usually increase by like 1 or 2 million. Then, in terms of the rookie slider, you'll see here in a second, but this is supposedly going to be the worst draft class that we've had. Now, with that, I would expect the best one or two players to be extremely good players. And then after that, I would expect the rest of the class to be trash because that's usually how it works with these types of classes. But we won't know until we see. Now, getting into progression, this is the first time I'm seeing this. John Morant and Garland both go down one for the Sixers. A couple guys going up one in terms of their rookies. Obviously, a lot of green movement here for the Bucks, who are still rebuilding. Damian Porter, who was the number one pick last year, goes up four, so that's good for them. Tyrone Baylor also goes up four, despite being 24 years old, so that's interesting to note. For those of you that are worried about drafting older players, including me, all these guys are on the older side. 23 years old, and he went up three, so hey, we'll see how that goes for them. SGA up two. I don't remember if that was because of a random event or what. Let's see here. Jared Vanderbilt up two for the Cavs, as well as Willie Hayward. Jalen Brunson goes down two for the Celtics. That's going to hurt them. Maybe he's going to start regressing at an earlier age than maybe some expected. LaRon Mapp, who was the number two pick last year, goes up four for the Sonics. So a lot of good progs from the draft last year thus far. I think we've had the first three picks each go up four, which is good. Bimbo Harper, who was the fourth pick, goes up three for Memphis. So, yeah, really good progression from that draft, it seems like. Not a lot of movement for the Hawks. Kawhi's down three. Teddy Babbitt, who was the 16 pick, he's going to go up four. And Wally Cross, for some reason, is up four. I don't know if that's... How old is he? He's 22 still. Dang, okay, I guess. Not a lot of really anything for the Hornets. Wallace Perry goes up four. This is crazy. We're seeing a lot of plus fours right now. Very interesting. Dwight Barrett up three for the Sacramento Kings. He was the 11th pick 2 years ago. So looking like a solid pick there. Christian Brown goes up three for the Knicks. I can't remember if that was due to a random event or not. Herb Jones up two. Some of these might be random events. For the reigning champion Magic, Frazier goes up two. Looks like Clint Capella and Donovan Mitchell each go down one, though. Chet is down one. That's kind of weird for me. Kevin Townsend, who was the 20th pick, is up three. Paul Kennedy, who was the 9th pick 2 years ago, is up two to an 80 overall for the Nets. For the Nuggets here, they made that trade for Hunter and Jordan Poole, who looks like they both regressed a little, so that hurts a little bit for them. Pandizias Diamantopoulos, who was the 7th pick last year, also up for the draft last year. I forget what that draft was rated, but it looks like everyone from that draft is progging relatively well. I mean, this guy, 2028 draft, Roy Cartwright, he's up three. So really interesting to figure out why that draft is progressing so well. A lot of regression here from the Pistons, their team on the older side. Kyrie goes down four. I can't remember if that's due to a random event or what. 2028 pick 30 is up three. He's still 75, but Good progs. Dante DiVincenzo up 5. That's almost certainly a random event from last season. Dino Raja up 3. Dang. Christos Durekas for the Spurs, who was the 3rd pick a couple years ago. He's up to an 86 overall, and he's still 21 years old, so he still has room to progress. And pretty good averages already, honestly. He could improve his shooting, but yeah, not bad. Lawrence Swift as well, the 5th pick from last year, goes up 3, so that's good progression from the Spurs. That's what you want to see. Chavez, who's 26 years old, and yet he just progressed. Unless that was a random event, which it might have been. Colin Freeman is up to a 92 for the Phoenix Suns. Although Frank just announced that he might be tanking, so it seems like his roster is kind of in a prime position to compete now, but we'll see if he decides to go the tanking route and potentially trade Freeman or something. I don't know. If it were me, I would probably see how the team does this year, at least first, before making any decision to blow it up. Dwight Moore is up 3 for the Wolves, as is Lou Kim, 2028 pick 6. We'll see if he progresses next year as well. Not a lot of movement here for Portland. Ben Simmons down 3. Robert Williams goes down 2. Markkanen up 2. Brent Roberts up 3 for the Warriors. He was the 24th pick a couple years ago. So solid progression there. He's into the 80s. Julius Randle goes down 2 for the Wizards. And yeah, that's progression. So I think we have the sliders set correctly and everything. We are going to advance now to the next season. Auto-generate those rookies. Some teams were over by a couple players. And here we are in the next season. So the first thing to announce is that you can now trade your 2034 picks. That is, if you can trade them due to the Stippian rule. Hawks with a ton of picks still. We'll see what moves they make. Heat with a good amount of picks. Same with the Knicks. I don't remember when the Knicks and Heat got all those picks, especially the Heat. But hey, they'll take them. Spurs, who are still in the middle of their rebuild, with a bunch of picks. Thunder with a bunch. And yeah, now let's look at who is still a free agent. In case anyone's interested, Obi is the top free agent. He's a 79 overall. Looks like he just wants a minimum, so I'm sure he'll receive a few offers. Connor Hodges is a 78. Looks like he has good potential based on just scrolling through here really quick what the scouts are saying. So he's a 78 24-year-old with decent potential. You kind of just saw these guys' potential too, but I'll scroll here for a minute. Bruce Brown, a team might want him. Spencer Ryan. Oops, what did I just click? Remove from target list. Negotiate contract. He wants a minimum. Samuel Ross wants 3. Ernest Madsen wants a couple million. Michael Mann. And then I'll just scroll here for a second in case you guys see anyone else that you like. But yeah, Karl Marx. Let's see how much he wants in case anyone wants to sign him for the memes. Just a minimum. I don't think I'm going to show people's MLEs because you can kind of just tell based on the cap tables, which I will show now. So remember, the salary caps did just increase a little bit. So the Sixers are currently 18 over the cap. Bucks are 4 under after that increase. 52 over for the Bulls. It's going to be interesting to see what the Bulls do after this year because they have SGA expiring. Although maybe he'll want to extend. I'm sure they'll make some moves this year, though. The Cavs, I think, are still over the hard cap, surprisingly. I think it's, what, like 270 now? Yeah, so they're still over it by a good 10 million. I also wanted to increase the cap by 6 because I know a lot of people just have like some worthless dead cap sitting around that's like not necessarily their fault. So I felt like increasing the cap by 6 million would offset some of that. 94 over for the Hawks. They're still 20 million away from the hard cap though. The Heat are 38 over the salary cap. 17 over for the Charlotte Hornets. Jazz are 82 over. Barely over for the Kings, who did just put Evan Mobley on the block, so it's going to be interesting to see if they could get a good package in return for him to start their rebuild. The Knicks, who had a pretty solid season last year. I think they went to the second round of the playoffs, which was good for them because I'm pretty sure they started in the play-in, if I remember right. The Magic, who also had a great season, of course, they won the title, so can't be mad about that. The Mavs, who had an okay season. I mean, they were the 1 seed, but they had a somewhat disappointing playoff run. The Nets had a good season last year, and they were able to retain Jalen Green in free agency, so perhaps they'll be competitive again this year if the East is not strong again. Here's the Pacers, who just got a new GM. We'll see what moves he makes. Obviously, Devin Vassell on the last year of his deal. The Outlaws here, 43 over. The Pistons, 21 over. The Raptors with $31 million in space. Oh, I also have to show contract extensions. That's right. Houston is 37 over. The Spurs with 65 in space. You think if you're the Spurs, like, you should offer potentially to take on some expiring contracts or something, or just some bad contracts in general, and try to get paid a couple of picks to do that, you know, instead of just sitting there with that extra salary room. But maybe not, we'll see. Same with the Thunder and the Wolves. They both have a good amount of salary room right now. The Blazers. So I think only the Cavs are going to end up being over the hard cap after the increase and everything. So that's good. That's right around where you want it. Just like 1 or 2 teams around the hard cap. But yeah, that is everyone. Now I will go to contract extensions and we will see who wants one. Looks like Cole Anthony's going to test free agency here for the Bulls. Tyus Jones wants a minimum. Oops, I didn't offer it. Wendell Moore wants a minimum. Not a lot of people usually want it for the first sim. Kawhi will take a minimum. No one for the Heat. Matisse Thybulle and Scotty Barnes will extend for Charlotte. That's big news. I feel like he may have been willing to extend last season as well. Ooh, a lot of guys for the Magic. Drummond, Clint Capella, DeJounte wants 14. Isaiah Jackson, who I will extend right there. Devin Vassell will extend for Indiana, as well Siakam. Maybe if he wants to trade those guys, it would be worth mentioning that he will extend them first. Markelle Fultz will extend for Detroit, as will Wiggins. Dante DiVincenzo for the Rockets. No one for the Spurs. Simons and Jared Allen for the Suns. That's big if they would extend both those guys. Brandon Clark for the Thunder. Looks like no one for Minnesota, no one for Portland, no one for Golden State, and no one for Washington. Okay. Is there anything else that I need to show before I end this video? I don't really think so. I showed progression, I showed free agents, we showed extensions, picks, cap tables, and yeah, I think that's all. So about a 15-minute video. Thank you guys for watching, and we will release the power rankings and let the next season begin.